Hey everyone, right then, for me the overall strength of Liverpool's squad has so far been bolstered in this transfer window with the additions of Luis Alberto, Iago Aspas, Kolo Touré and Simon Mignolet. However, I don't feel that Liverpool and Brendan Rodgers have yet improved the overall strength of the starting 11, as it's pretty much the same as it was at the back end of last season. So over the next 2 or 3 weeks of this transfer window that remains, I would like to see Liverpool and Brendan Rodgers focus almost solely on improving the starting 11. There are 1 or 2 areas that need improving in order to perhaps make the difference between us being, say, a top 6 side and being a top 4 side. I'm going to go over them one by one and say where I feel needs improving and which players I'd like to see replace or be drafted into the squad. So I'm going to start out with defence. We still need reinforcements defensively. If Aguero or Touré get injured, we have only Skrtel and KopThis to fall back on. And for me, we don't know yet whether one of or both of these are going to be sold this transfer window. Brendan Rodgers has seemed to take a liking to Andre Wisdom and has played him in a few of the pre-season friendlies that we've played. For me, Andre Wisdom is a terrific prospect, really good young talent, but I don't feel he's yet ready to be playing in the Premier League. I don't think he's ready for Premier League action. He against Celtic, he wasn't terrible, he wasn't awful, but he was caught out of position a couple of times. He went to ground, for the goal. And struggled with Balde. Now, a lot of defenders would probably struggle with Balde. He seemed strong, powerful, and he was a real handful for our defence, full stop. But for me, Andre Wisdom perhaps would benefit from a season-long loan in the Championship to gain some experience before coming back to Liverpool. And for me, it will make him a better player. So, for me, with Skrtel and KopThis, with there being question marks over those two, I feel that Liverpool arguably need to look at signing a centre-back. Now, we've been linked with Kyriakos Papadopoulos all summer, and I think that he would provide the cover that we need for Aguero and Touré. Whilst also, for me, having the sort of quality to seriously push for starting places. And I think competition within the squad is healthy, and it's what Liverpool need more of. We need 2 and 3 players for each position, in order to create competition, to keep performance up. If somebody has a bad game, they can be replaced. At the minute, for example, if you take Jose Enrique, if he has a bad game, there's no one to seriously replace him at left back. So again, Liverpool have been linked with the left back, Valencia's left back in Alai Sissoko. Now, earlier it was rumoured, whether or not it's just rumours, you don't know, it was gossip and so on, but it's going around a lot lately that Sissoko has agreed a deal in principle with Liverpool. If this is true, then I think it will be a fantastic signing. I've seen him play a few times for Valencia. He's a very strong, powerful player, powerful left back. He's very good defensively. I would probably put him above Enrique at this moment in time defensively, although he's not as good going forward as Jose Enrique. But going back to the Kyriakos Papadopoulos, we've been linked with him all transfer window, and I think that he would be a great addition for Liverpool. Touré has been excellent in pre-season, but he is 32 years old now, and perhaps only has a couple of years left at the top level. So, and for me, he was brought in as more of a Jamie Carragher replacement. So, I think that it's still important that we look to bring in a quality centre-back. It's an area of real need for strengthening, and the same with the left-back position. Attacking-wise, we also need to make a signing or two. Centre attacking midfield, for me, is important and is something that, minus Steven Gerrard, Liverpool, we currently lack. If Gerrard is off his game, it's hard to see a plan B coming from the midfield. If you look at the likes of Jordan Henderson, Joe Allen, I think that there will be terrific players for Liverpool in the future. They are, decent players. But what I would say is that by signing the likes of Christian Eriksen, say, who we've been linked with all summer as well, if we signed him, for me, he could prove more dynamic and could give us the quality going forward that Joe Allen and Jordan Henderson, for me at this moment in time, just don't possess. You don't expect to see dynamic, defence splitting passes coming from Joe Allen, coming from Henderson. With Joe Allen, he's very much a side-to-side player. I would like to just see, the likes of Christian Eriksen brought in. Because for me, he would add real quality to the squad. He would probably become a first teamer. If you had, say, Lucas and then you had Gerrard and Eriksen in front of him, I think that would be a very, very good midfield three. It would be as good as any midfield in the Premier League, in my opinion. And for me, unfortunately enough, with Henderson and Allen, I just don't know whether either of them will be good enough to create enough or assist enough goals for Liverpool from that midfield. So for me, Christian Eriksen would be a really good signing. I think that we certainly need a midfielder. We need a quality, world-class midfielder to come into that Liverpool starting 11. If we add the centre-back and the centre-attacking midfielder, then I think that we're in business. Also, though, we've been linked with selling Stuart Downing. Now, for me, if he's sold, then I think we'll need to sign a decent wide player. We have eBay at the minute. eBay. I've always pronouncing his name wrong, so please forgive me. I'm going to say eBay and Sterling. But they are both young, so I would still like to see an experienced wide player. I think that it, again, creates competition, and it sets a barometer, a meter for Sterling and eBay to try and match up to and to try and better. So, I've really wanted to see Stuart Downing succeed ever since he was brought into the Liverpool squad. I really have, but £20 million was always going to be, there was going to be question marks over that sort of fee and whether or not he could live up to that sort of price tag playing for us. And I just don't think it's really happened for him. If he stays, then for me, that's not a bad thing because he has something to offer to the squad still. We're certainly better with Stuart Downing than we would be without Stuart Downing and signing nobody else. So, but he hasn't delivered in terms of assists, in terms of goals. He just hasn't done enough for me. It's not scored enough. It's not created enough. And his final pass, his final cross hasn't been good enough. So for me, Stuart Downing hasn't done what I'm sure other Liverpool fans like myself were hoping, that he would be able to do when we signed him. And of course, there's been other people that have been critics from the start and have almost wanted him to do badly, it seems. People have been jumping all over him every time he's had a substandard game, which I think is a bit unfair. We should still support all of our players, whilst they're still at the club. I don't want to see, players getting criticised and slagged off and slated all the time. At the end of the day, as long as you do your best, then I suppose, for me, that's all that matters. Although you could argue Stuart Downing hasn't really done his best in a lot of games. He's been quite lazy, performance-wise. But, So if Stuart Downing does go, as has been reported to West Ham, I don't think he will do. There's the rumours, again, it's just rumours, but it's gone round now saying that Brendan Rodgers has asked him to remain with Liverpool. And if this is true, then that's fine. We don't, for me, need to sign another winger. It'll just be centre-attacking midfielder. Hopefully the likes of Christian Eriksen would be terrific. And Kyriakos Papadopoulos and Alai Sissoko. For me, though, we still need to sign another forward. We need to bring a few more goals into the team, and we've been heavily linked with Diego Costa, having put a £21.8 million bid over to Atletico Madrid, and I would like to see us, really push to sign one more key forward. If we do lose Luis Suarez in this transfer window, then it's going to be pivotal, and we're going to have no other option than to sign one or two strikers. However, despite having Daniel Sturridge and Luis Suarez, we've also got players obviously like Fabio Borini, Iago Aspas, plenty of options there striker-wise. But for me, I would still like to see us sign another quality striker, of the ability of, say, Diego Costa, because it would bring more goals into the side and it would improve our overall starting 11. For me now, it's about improving the overall strength and quality of our starting 11. So by improving defensively, in our midfield, one world-class player, and up front, for me, then we will have a starting 11 as well as depth in our squad with the likes of Alberto and Iago Aspas, etc., to make a real fist of all the competitions for the top four in the Premier League and for domestic competitions in the Carling Cup and FA Cup. So, do you agree with me? Who would you like to see us sign? Do you think that Liverpool will make any more signings this summer? Leave your feedback and your comments below, please. Cheers.